I'm Naren Razman, and this is Nightline, the top stories. 5 teenagers plead not guilty to verbally abusing Zara Khairina. And another bullying case reported. Student beaten, stripped, and nearly strangled with wire. Good morning. 5 teenage girls have pleaded not guilty at the Kota Kinabalu Children's Court to verbally abusing Form 1 student Zara Khairina Mahathir. They were charged with committing the offence on July 15th, a day before Zara was found unconscious and later pronounced dead. The girls, whose identities are being withheld as they are under 18, were brought to the courthouse on Wednesday after heavy police security at about 8:45 a.m. Security outside the premises was also tightened, while the media and members of the public were barred from the closed-door proceedings. According to the charge sheet, the 5, acting with common intent, allegedly uttered abusive words directed at Zara, which were heard by the victim and could have caused her distress. They were accused of committing the offence at Block A36 of SMK Agama Tun Datu Mustafa in Limawan, Papar between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. on July 15th. They were charged under Section 507C, subsection 1 of the Penal Code, which provides for up to a year in jail, a fine, or both upon conviction. A gag order was also issued by the court, prohibiting disclosure of case details to the public. The prosecution later clarified to media about what can and cannot be reported in the media under the law, noting that certain details, including the girls' ages, cannot be revealed under the Child Act.
Pertuduhan telah dibacakan. Pengakuan tidak mengaku salah.
Tidak mengaku salah. Itu kami boleh report.
Boleh.
Next mention.
Tidak boleh dedahkan.
Tidak boleh dedahkan.
Banyak perkara yang tidak boleh kena disclose kerana wujudnya Section 15 Akta Kanak-Kanak 2001 yang menghalang publikasi anak-anak tersebut sama ada melalui tempat tinggalnya, namanya, ataupun ayah bapaknya, ibu bapaknya. Secara ringkas, akta melalui Section 15 ni, identiti kanak-kanak adalah dirahsiakan. Tidak boleh. Sama ada dalam tempoh perbicaraan atau semasa siasatan. Okay? Bukannya sebabnya VVIP, bukannya sebab disuruh oleh siapa-siapa. Tidak, itu adalah undang-undang Malaysia.
The gag order will be enforced through the pre-trial case management, and the trial will run from December 8th till 19th. The court allowed bail of 5,000 ringgit with one surety for each of the teenagers. The case has been fixed for mention on September 25th. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, in the meantime, said the proceeding marks the first ever case to be charged under Section 507C, subsection 1 of the Penal Code, following the amendment gazetted in July.
Kita yang di sini, kita yang menganjurkan siri demonstrasi nak cari apa? Nak cari kebenaran. Nak tegakkan keadilan. Jadi apa cara dia? Mesti mengikut lunas hukum dan undang-undang. Kebenaran tak boleh dibuat dengan telan bulat-bulat apa yang doktor patologi yang kita tangkap semalam sebut.
He added that any theories or claims not originating from the official investigation should not be regarded as reliable. Saifuddin stressed that there were no elements of a cover-up or attempt to conceal the investigation and that all standard operating procedures were fully adhered to. Meanwhile, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman Said, explained that there are differences in court proceedings involving children as provided under the Child Act. While the Act does not remove punishment for child offenders, the Minister clarified that it does, however, provide safeguards and protection.
Sebab kalau dia kanak-kanak, dia tak boleh pergi mahkamah biasa. Dia kena pergi mahkamah lain. Mahkamah khas, persidangan tu tertutup, mungkin dalam kamera semua tu. Jadi sebab bila Putrajaya Kanak-Kanak memberikan kenyataan, dia menerangkan prosedur kalau kanak-kanak tu masuk bila dituduh, proses dia di mahkamah macam mana. Hukuman tu ditetapkan oleh hakim lah.
She said this when met by reporters at the ASEAN Law Forum held in the capital on Wednesday morning. Azalina stressed that criminal laws apply to everyone and clarified that factors such as schooling, level, age and information presented by the defense will be taken into account by the court before sentencing is meted out on juvenile offenders. In the same development, Communications Minister Datuk Fahmi Fadzil has called the actions of social media influencers who use the case as content to earn revenue as unethical and misleading to the public. Fahmi also warned of a growing trend where netizens blindly believe everything they see on social media without verification.
Bila jumlah tontonan berjuta, mesti ada pulangan keuangan kepada pempengaruh itu. Tapi aspek integriti, aspek pengesahan identiti, ini tidak dilakukan.
Fahmi said he has instructed the Information Department, Bernama and RTM to produce content to help the public understand that not all social media content is true. He will also be working with the Malaysian Media Council, media associations and press clubs to reinforce the need to observe Section 15 of the Child Act 2001, which imposes restrictions when reporting on children, particularly in criminal cases. Another bullying case involving students, this time in Kelantan. 6 Form 4 students have been detained for allegedly assaulting and bullying a younger student at a secondary school in Pasir Mas earlier this week. District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Kama Azural Muhammad said the suspects were arrested at 2:55 p.m. on Tuesday after the victim's father lodged a police report. All 6 admitted to bullying the victim. Initial investigations revealed the Form 3 victim was assaulted, punched, elbowed in the head and kicked by 5 of the suspects, while another humiliated him by pulling down his pants. The 15-year-old had endured repeated bullying since early this month, with the most recent incident occurring on August 18th. He was left so traumatized that he no longer felt safe returning to school. The boy's mother expressed her deep regret over the actions of the suspects. She said the family had been unaware of the bullying until their son confided in them, and now hopes for justice through firm action against those responsible. Police said the suspects have been remanded for 6 days as investigations continue. In the meantime, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced on Wednesday that the proposal to establish a tribunal to address bullying cases involving students and children will be tabled at the next cabinet meeting. This follows an earlier announcement by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman Said, that the government would begin work on the initiative.
Proposal by Datuk Seri Azalina tentang tribunal for bullying ya. Kanak-kanak. Anything to comment after this?
Nanti dia dibawa ke kabinet.
Dibawa ke kabinet.
Ya. Kita bincang di kabinet.
Anwar was speaking to reporters after attending the Finance Ministry's monthly assembly. On Tuesday, Azalina indicated that the government would review the need to enact an anti-bullying law focused on setting up a tribunal to hear bullying cases involving students and children. She said there was no specific definition or clear punishment for the offence of bullying under any existing legal provision, with such cases being prosecuted under the Penal Code or other legislation.
Children bullying.
The Urban Renewal Act, scheduled to be tabled in the Dewan Rakyat on Thursday, aims to provide the public with comfortable and conducive housing by rejuvenating old and dilapidated residential areas. It will also introduce a comprehensive legal framework to ensure orderly, safe and systematic implementation while safeguarding the rights and interests of indigenous communities. Town and Country Planning Department Plan Malaysia Director General Dato' Alias Ramli said the planned rejuvenation will ensure that all residential areas, including low-cost housing and unsafe dilapidated buildings, are not left to deteriorate further. He added that efforts to draft the bill began in 2012 with the introduction of various guidelines before being finalized to provide legal authority.
Bukannya pendekatan kita dari pihak kerajaan untuk membiarkan kawasan-kawasan yang usang lebih 30 tahun, lebih 40 tahun kekal sebegitu rupa dalam konteks panggilan skip perbandaran. Jadi kita tak ada pilihan, kita mengambil satu ikhtiar lah. Dari sudut perancangannya, kita memperkenalkan rang undang-undang pembangunan bandar atau kita kenali sebagai RU PSB ini.
Alias said this to reporters during his visit to Media Prima Berhad's Balai Berita in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. He added that the main goal of the act is to ensure that residents are not marginalized, but are instead able to remain in their homes with improved housing quality and a better living environment. Under the new law, Malaysia will be able to strengthen its urban governance, bringing it on par with countries such as Singapore, Indonesia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates, which have long enforced similar legislation. Former Sabah Infrastructure Minister Datuk Peter Anthony's last-ditch attempt to overturn his forgery conviction failed after the Court of Appeal upheld his jail sentence and fine. The 54-year-old will remain in Kajang prison after a court review panel ruled that there was no merit in his application. Justice Dato' Azman Abdullah, chairing a 3-judge panel, said there was no failure of justice regarding a police report lodged by prosecution witness Shukur Din. Reading out the unanimous decision, Azman said the matter had been extensively submitted before the previous Court of Appeal panel last year. Peter was sentenced to 3 years jail and fined 50,000 ringgit by the Sessions Court in Kuala Lumpur in 2022. He was convicted of falsifying documents related to a maintenance and service contract at UMS 11 years ago. He has paid the fine and is currently serving his sentence. His position as the Melalap Assemblyman now hangs in limbo, pending the official announcement by the Sabah Legislative Assembly on the status of the seat. Malaysia has recorded over 1 trillion ringgit in cumulative foreign direct investment, or FDI, as of the second quarter of 2025. Maybank Investment Bank said the milestone showcases Malaysia's success in attracting long-term foreign capital even as inflows slow. Singapore remains Malaysia's largest foreign investor, contributing 26% of total FDI, followed by Hong Kong and the United States. The services sector continued to dominate, attracting more than half of total FDI, while the manufacturing sector accounted for 38%. Ownership of property and luxury vehicles are among the criteria which will be used to identify those who qualify for the RON 95 subsidy. The Finance Ministry explained that eligibility will also be based on multiple other sources, such as data from Inland Revenue Board and household income surveys. Detailed assessments are being carried out to ensure a more comprehensive approach and that assistance is targeted towards those who need it. The Prime Minister also guaranteed that at least 85% of the public would not be directly affected by the rationalization. He stressed that only non-citizens and those who are truly affluent would be excluded from receiving the subsidy. Japanese exports suffered their steepest drop in more than 4 years last month amid as tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump continue to weigh on global commerce. According to Finance Ministry data released on Wednesday, the year-on-year drop of 2.6% in July included a 10.1% plunge in exports to the U.S. Japanese exports of motor vehicles, cars, buses and trucks to the world's biggest economy plummeted by 28.4%, while those of auto parts fell 17.4%. Data last week showed that the world's fourth biggest economy eked out better than expected annualized growth of 1% in the second quarter.
an often misunderstood but economically vital sector. We uncovered the truth behind Malaysia's debt collection industry. How does this sector fit into Malaysia's financial ecosystem? The challenges it faces and where is it headed in the digital age? Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan speaks with Zabah Hasrin, President of the Association of Professional Debt Collection Agency. Only on Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Major drug syndicate busted. This and more after this breather.
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headline.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
Key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
Apabila datang, ia boleh mengambil alih kesemuanya tubuh, minda dan hidup anda. Stres bukan sekadar tekanan perasaan tetapi boleh mengancam kesihatan secara keseluruhan. Kenalilah tanda-tanda stres sejak awal dan bincang mengenainya secara terbuka. Dapatkan sokongan moral dan emosi daripada orang di sekeliling anda serta bantuan profesional di saluran yang betul. Saksikan Hello Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3.
Hidup bermasyarakat kena ada kesedaran sivik yang tinggi. Dahulukan sesiapa yang perlu diberi keutamaan.
Perut buncit, apa punca dan kesan kepada tubuh badan.
Semarakkan Hari Kebangsaan dengan pelbagai hidangan nasi. Kegemaran rakyat Malaysia.
Seni batik dah banyak berevolusi. Nampak lebih cantik dan elegan.
Mana lebih baik, beli rumah atau bina rumah sendiri? Kupasannya dalam Soal Wang.
MHI, Isnin hingga Jumaat jam 10 pagi.
Eksklusif di TV3 dan Tonton.
Lelaki itu lemah. Saya ada jin itu. Boleh tunaikan unlimited rewards. Ingatkan lelaki jin tak cukup satu.
Lagi layan dengan Tonton Up. Rewards non-stop. Nak ni, nak tu. Semua untuk korang. Langgan Tonton RM9.90 je. Baru puas.
Welcome back. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has frozen bank accounts totaling 218 million ringgit following raids on several companies suspected of being involved in smuggling tobacco, cigarettes and cigars. These smuggling activities are believed to have resulted in lost tax revenue amounting to more than 250 million ringgit over the past 5 years. Enforcement agency officers are believed to have been involved in the syndicate's operations. According to the sources, the operation, dubbed Op Sicaro, was carried out on Tuesday at 14 locations across the Klang Valley and Johor. The raids were conducted through a joint effort led by the MACC's Special Operations Division with the cooperation of the Inland Revenue Board, Bank Negara Malaysia and the Royal Malaysian Customs Department. The raids targeted business premises and company owners dealing in tobacco, cigars and liquor supply. Customs also suspended the import licenses of several companies pending further investigation. Investigations will now focus on tracing and seizing other assets linked to those involved through money laundering activities. Meanwhile, MACC Senior Director of Special Operations, Datuk Muhammad Zamri Zainul Abidin, said the investigation is being carried out under the MACC Act, as well as the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. An insurance agent has been remanded for 5 days on suspicion of involvement in a fraudulent investment scheme worth approximately 21 million ringgit. The suspect is believed to have committed the offence since 2023. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin in Putrajaya. According to sources, the female suspect in her 40s was arrested on Tuesday night after she appeared to give her statement at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya. Preliminary investigations found that 22 investors had been deceived into investing in a cooperative in the Klang Valley. The cooperative, however, never received the money, and the investors were issued with fake investment certificates. MACC Senior Director of Investigations, Datuk Zainul Darus, said the case is being investigated under Section 18 of the MACC Act. Police have crippled a major drug syndicate in the Klang Valley with the seizure of more than 400 kilograms of shabu worth 13.6 million ringgit. 5 men aged between 33 and 64 were also detained in 4 raids carried out across Puchong and Sri Petaling on August 18th. According to Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigation Department Director Datuk Hussein Omar Khan, the first raid was carried out at a car park in Bandar Puchong, where the first suspect was arrested and more than 100 kilograms of shabu was discovered. The second raid along the Damansara Puchong Highway led to the arrest of the second suspect, who then led police to a house where another 37 kilograms of shabu was uncovered. A video of the suspect being apprehended has gone viral on social media. The third raid was at a restaurant in Bandar Puchong Jaya, where 2 more suspects were picked up. The raiding team was then led to a nearby terrace house where another 321 kilograms of shabu was found. The fourth raid at a parking lot near the Sri Petaling LRT station saw police detain the 5th suspect, who is believed to be the coordinator for the syndicate. Hussein said the haul was concealed in plastic packaging meant for dried durian pieces in an attempt to mask the contraband. The syndicate has been linked to an international network which also supplied drugs to Sabah, Sarawak, and potentially Kalimantan. Police believe there are higher-ranking individuals still at large. All 5 suspects with prior criminal and drug offences have been remanded for 7 days. In Kuala Terengganu, 8 luxury vehicles were seized by the Terengganu Road Transport Department during Ops Luxury Phase 2, held between the 1st and 19th of August. 90 luxury vehicles were inspected during the 19-day operation. Checks found that the vehicles were linked to multiple offences, including expired motor vehicle licenses and insurance, as well as number plates that did not comply with approved specifications. The most common offences recorded were expired licenses and lack of insurance, with 13 cases each. State RTD Director Muhammad Zamri Samyon said the latest seizures on Tuesday involved 3 vehicles. All vehicles have been brought to the department's impound depot. Afghanistan bus crash death toll rises. The details when Nightline returns.
Hai kawan-kawan pernah tak rasa tak selesa bila ada orang cuba sentuh badan kita? Kawan-kawan ingat tahu badan kita ni milik kita. Kalau ada orang sentuh tanpa izin, korang cakap tidak. Lepas tu korang bagi tahu ibu bapa ataupun cikgu ataupun kakak dan abang, okey?
Betul tu. Ingat, tak ada orang yang boleh buat kita rasa takut dan tak selesa. Kita berhak rasa selamat dan dilindungi.
Juara! Ada juara lagu ke-13.
Alah, tengah sedap tergantung pula. Sabar jap, biar abang yang setelkan bil tuntut.
Tak perlu overthinking, just keep watching. Lagi mudah bayar bil tonton terus melalui bil telefon. Pilih telco kegemaran, bayar dan sambung layan sampai tak berhenti.
Masuk hutan, selam lautan dan tinjau wildlife beraksi dalam Arabian Seas. Epicus Hunters musim pertama. Chasing the Rains. Epicus Hunters musim kedua. Alien Abyss. layan animal documentary di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headline.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
Key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
The foreign front. Israel will call up 60,000 reservists in the coming weeks as it pushes forward with a plan to seize Gaza City, even as mediators pursue efforts to secure a ceasefire in the 22-month war. The military said on Wednesday that Defense Minister Israel Katz approved plans to launch operations in Gaza's most densely populated areas and extend the service of 20,000 additional reservists. The assault is expected to force thousands of Palestinians in northern Gaza to the south of the Strip. The military had reportedly already begun operations in the neighborhoods of Zaytun and Jabalia as part of the initial stage. The announcement comes after Israel appeared to dismiss reports that Hamas had accepted the latest ceasefire proposal from Arab mediators, which would involve the release of remaining hostages in Gaza. Meanwhile, Iran on Wednesday said it is prepared for any new Israeli attack, announcing it has developed missiles with greater capabilities than those used during their recent 12-day war. Iran's defense ministry said the missiles used during the conflict were developed years ago and that the country now possesses more advanced systems, warning that if the Zionist regime dares to act again, Iran will not hesitate to respond. In mid-June, Israel launched a bombing campaign against Iran, triggering a war in which Iran responded with missiles and drone strikes. The Israeli offensive killed senior military commanders, nuclear scientists, and hundreds of others. The death toll from a bus crash involving Afghan migrants returning from Iran in western Afghanistan has risen to 79. The bus en route to Kabul caught on fire on Tuesday night after colliding with a truck and motorcycle in Herat province. Authorities said all passengers, including 19 children, on the bus were killed, along with 2 people from the other vehicles. The accident was reportedly due to the bus's excessive speed and negligence. The returnees are part of a massive wave of Afghans deported or forced out of Iran in recent months. Switching to sports football, the 2025 ASEAN Club Championship. Selangor FC nearly pulled off a surprise in their first Group A match after holding Thai giants Buriram United in a 1-1 draw at Chang'e Arena, Thailand on Wednesday night. Both teams showed a balanced performance throughout the first half, but it was the visitors who took the lead in the 38th minute when Trigor Moraes fired a powerful strike. The home side pressed relentlessly for a goal, and their determination paid off after Peter Zulj headed in an equalizer in the 95th minute, securing a point for both teams. Next up, the Red Giants will play Singapore's Tampines Rover on September 24th in the second showdown. Still on football, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah was named the Professional Footballers Association Player of the Year on Tuesday, with the Egyptian becoming the first player to win the award 3 times. Salah was the Premier League's top scorer last season with his 29 goals along with 18 assists, playing a key role in the club winning of the league title, finishing 10 points ahead of runners-up Arsenal. The 33-year-old had already clinched the Premier League Player of the Season award, the Golden Boot for most goals scored, and the Playmaker award for most assists, making him the first player to win all three awards in the same season. Liverpool also saw 4 of its players from last season, including Salah, named in the Premier League Team of the Year, along with new signing from Bournemouth, Milos Kerkez. Aston Villa and England midfielder Morgan Rogers was voted Young Player of the Year after the 23-year-old scored 8 league goals in his 37 starts last season and netted 4 goals in the Champions League. Includes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at humanoid robots showcasing their skills, including calligraphy, at the 2025 Automation, Intelligence and Robot Exhibition in Taipei, where around 1,000 companies are exhibiting. With that, I'm Nur Nazmin. Thank you for watching and stay safe.